Welcome back to IDP Academy. This is the fifth and final episode of the series Darkness, a journey through art, mind, and ethics. The previous episodes explored art, psychology, virtue, and inner unity. Today, I am changing tone. This episode is the most personal and perhaps the most direct. It arises from concrete, recent experiences that I have lived through firsthand. Episode 5, The Weight of Words. I have spoken about darkness, about vastness, about the invisible lenses that distort reality without asking permission. Now I want to speak about something more tangible, something I have experienced firsthand, recently, and something I can neither, nor wish to, ignore. In 40 years of practice and teaching, I have met masters of every kind. I have experienced heated confrontations, difficult discussions, and conflicting visions that could not find common ground. That is normal. It is even necessary. Diversity of perspectives, when approached honestly, is enriching. But there is a line that separates confrontation from disrespect, disagreement from offense, criticism from insult. That line has nothing to do with the lineage one practices. It does not depend on years of experience. It is not guaranteed by a title, a rank, or a history as long as mine, or longer. It is guaranteed only by character, by the education one has received or chosen to seek, by the ethics one has consciously chosen to embrace. When someone enters another person's public space, a page, a podcast, a testimony shared with effort and honesty, and chooses to respond with vulgar words, contempt, or the subtle violence of someone who seeks to humiliate rather than to engage in dialogue, that person is not demonstrating superiority. They are revealing themselves, and that revelation, painful as it may be to receive, says far more about them than it does about me. I have learned and continue to learn that defending one's own image does not mean attacking that of others. That supporting one's own vision does not require demolishing the work of someone else. That it is possible to profoundly disagree with someone and still find a way to express it without trampling on their dignity. To stand firmly behind one's ideas with strength and clarity is a right. To do so through caricature, destructive sarcasm, or the systematic delegitimization of those who work differently, this is not intellectual courage. It is the opposite. It is the voice of the ego that has not yet learned how to remain uncomfortable. In the martial tradition I have embraced, respect is not a concession. It is not something offered only to those deemed worthy. It is an inner posture, a way of being in the world that exists before any judgment of others. Li, respect, one of the 5 virtues of the classical Chinese warrior. Not by chance is it among the first, because without it, everything else, technique, experience, knowledge, remains rootless. A tree without roots is not a tree. It is a trunk waiting to fall. I do not ask for understanding. I do not ask for apologies. I have never sought them. I ask only of myself before anyone else, not to lower the standard, not to answer darkness with more darkness. Because I said at the beginning of this journey that it is possible to learn to live within darkness with one's eyes open. And keeping one's eyes open also means this: seeing clearly, without hatred, what one does not wish to become. If this episode has given you something to reflect upon, share it with those who practice, those who teach, and those who understand what it means to belong to a martial community. Subscribe to the IDP Academy YouTube channel and activate notifications. The journey continues.